Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center, here and everywhere. But we're located in Santa Barbara at this moment. But I feel you wherever you're tuning in from. And if you're tuning in the future to a recording, we feel you. Welcome. And welcome to the world of magic and miracles. This morning, as I was preparing, I was inspired to look up the definition of theater. Theater is a collaboration form of performing art that uses live performers to present the experience of a real or imagined event before a live audience in a specific place, often a stage, that you travel to. We have our own world of magic and miracles because there are too many theaters that were not true and were not good. In fact, I believe during World War II, they called that theater of war in Europe. No, or the theater of the absurd, filled with beyond worldly effects, theater to make you laugh, cry, forget yourself, forget your troubles, your life, and take you to distraction. But that's not what we're talking about. On Friday, David gave us the term placeholder. How intriguing, because as a placeholder, we have endless possibilities of what we will fill that with. So, welcome to the theater, the world, our life of magic and miracles. Yeah. I had an amazing morning. It's so tied up with yesterday's experience. By the way, if you were on the call and heard Robert's message, listen to it again. I transcribed the entire broadcast, and that was a benefit that I felt. And if you weren't on the broadcast, order the recording, because secrets were there that we could use forever. So what happened? Well, first of all, I just wanted to add something else, that in music, there is a term, as long as we're talking about theater and music, there is a term called sostenuto. And it's an important term that no one seems to know too much about, but it is the sustaining chord or tones in the bass that's held while all the melodies and acrobatics are being played in the octaves above. So this sustaining tone is what supports our symphony of life. So back to this morning. I woke and experienced what I've never experienced before. Absolutely no thought. Just opened my eyes, saw Robert at his desk, and felt something brand new. And Robert felt it too. It was silence. No noise, no thought, no interruption. It was life. Oop, the fly likes my nose. It was life being and being all around. In Robert's, I'm going to keep referring back there because it was so much as I transcribed. But he also said, let's see, I gave it to you accurately. Here it is. And this is my morning. He said, I can assure you, you can fly as you go to sleep and travel. You can wake up in a new frame of mind. And there it was, a new frame, a frame I've never visited before. And it was exciting. That everything was so synchronistic because I had to put out the invitation for the broadcast on Facebook. So what I was doing is I opened that theater on the computer and I was exposed to the theater of the absurd, the theater of fear, the theater of happiness, theater of joy. And I thought, nothing is going to move this. This is too precious a feeling. And I was holding and feeling wonderful. And then all of a sudden, I came across a post from last year. Now, that last year was before the pandemic, right? And Robert's message that I had posted said, feel the freedom as you are further released from the hidden restrictions of human programming. The security of your being is no longer based on the forces that are produced by your assessment of being within the bounds of all your rules. You are able to maintain your balance in the universal field without such forces, and there is nothing more exciting than feeling that you are secure because of freedom itself. The need for comparison with known standards disappears when you are in the world of magic and miracles, and there is no need to look for a replacement. The direct connection to your undefined but totally familiar universal fields will take over the flow of your life and will engulf you in an endless exploration that maintains excitement and joy in every moment. Following your spirit becomes a normal event, and the need to explain yourself in logical terms becomes a tiny speck on the screen of life that is rarely noticed and never visited. And I look forward to reposting that and emphasizing the fact that we were free, we are free, and no pandemic or fear-mongering can touch us. That is so valuable. And that's really the only reason I'm on Facebook, is to just hold that standard of joy and belief of more than fairy tales, because this is the truth. And I have a fly that will not leave me alone. So I'm going to refer back to that because we all know that we're not from here. We're from our origin. And we came laden with gifts to share with everyone. This fly keeps taking he's trying to get my attention, but I'm not going to give it to him. No. So, yesterday, we were taken to something so clear because it became an image that we all arrived from the galaxies, from wherever, from different planets, from the universe. And now Robert is telling us that we can fly because that's how we maybe got here in the first place. But now, what is it that tells us we can't fly? Who said that? Who put that in our heads? And when it was put to us yesterday, Robert said, well, if you're an airplane and you have to lift off, you can't keep running down an endless airstrip. You lift and you bring your wheels up. And what the world wants is you not to lift. And you cannot lay down any more rubber because it's time to lift up and to fly. And the interesting thing is that we're not going to be flying alone. We realize that there's so many people who have that impetus, and all we have to be is the example. So after the broadcast yesterday, Robert and I were speaking, and he said, your wheels are not up. I went, well, of course that has a lot of meaning now. And it can continue to have meaning with how we're being in the world and what we're doing with our life and how much time we are wasting it and how much time we're being real. So, wheels up is a 2-word message to everyone. And everyone will understand. It's a word picture. It is so clear. So I started thinking, why am I dragging? Why am I on I don't want this. And then I realized the importance of letting go. We've all traveled in airplanes driven by or flown by other people, by a captain. And we're sitting there with a lot of people. But this is our plane. This is our personal flight that we each get to do. And I saw the importance of being able to do that wheels up. And some, not some, all had to do with jettisoning. Is that a word? Yes. To jettison, to let go. What can I take off this airplane so I can get liftoff? And that is about 81 years of memory, pictures, experiences. None of that is important. Nothing. This fly is amazing. I think he wants to do the broadcast. He's sitting on the computer right now, planning his next attack. But nothing can get me off the track because I know the importance of Wheels Up and seeing every experience in the proper light, not in someone else's shadow, not in someone else's explanation, but in that knowingness. And that knowingness comes from being willing to fly up to the unknown from where we all come from. The more experiences we have with what we don't think we know, the greater the joy, the happiness. So we have 2 words to remember, just all, that's all. Wheels up. No more drag races. No more laying down the rubber. Nothing of a negative nature. And we discover that we have friends who are in that same airport, and we're all taking off together. And the most wonderful thing about having friends is that we don't have to explain. We can just be sharing our feelings and sharing the sensations as I'm sharing with you right now. There's nothing more important than seeing a friend, not the way you saw them yesterday, the way you see them right now. And that is how we're growing. We're growing as a family. We're growing together. And together, we are making the difference that humanity has been calling out for. So, as soon as this broadcast is over, I'm going to repost what I read to you because I feel these messages go out and they're received as however they'll be received. But something will call back and reignite that sostenuto of life, supporting all of it. We have choices, but we also have the choiceless choice to be who we really are. and all the programming that has happened melts. Yes, there's been a lot of programming, but I'm hoping that this is a short course of deprogramming. Yeah. There's just so much. And by deprogramming, what is that? Little by little, a structure was built around us of who we are, whose child we are, what country do we belong to, and who are our friends, and who are we allowed to play with. Oh, it goes on and on and on. And all of a sudden, your perfect vision is lessened, and it's narrower because you're being a good little girl or a good little boy, and you can't break out of that until you're on fire in remembering who you are. And I think that is my whole purpose, is to remember what is real, who is real, who do I listen to, and then life becomes even more beautiful than you thought it was. Yeah. There is one other point that I wanted to just bring out. Um, yeah. When I talk about openness of the child, here's the definition. That feeling of openness is one you had before the first time you got frightened. And what happens when you're frightened? You shut down. You don't want that feeling. It's scary. And then hopefully we grow up and we can just tell that guy to get lost. You can't frighten me. I know who I am. But that takes a lot of strength, and strength is in your family and friends that support you. And also, I can't believe this fly. I think he's testing me because he cannot change my mind. He cannot alter what I know to be true. So, yeah. No matter what words I'm saying, no matter how it comes across, I just want you to fall in love with who you are and know that you are supported, loved, appreciated. And I'm so glad you came to join me today. So, we here at the Advancement Center are wishing you a perfect life, perfect health, and a truly magical future. Thank you.